bartenders 20%. No droids, no bounty hunters, no Raylos, no Ray Nobody, nobody's, no Adam Driver fans, no complainers about the prequels, let's see, no Acolyte fans or rationalizers. I am on here today just because it's my birthday, and I did not want to do an upload. I've got some stuff I have to do, so before my mother-in-law is coming at 4, and a bunch of us are going to a very nice restaurant, gourmet, for dinner, and I don't know what I'm gonna have, but it's gonna be something good. Anyway, so it'll be a good birthday, and with my husband and my people, so it'll be fun. Anyway, want to talk a little bit about Fandom Wire. It's very interesting how 3 more articles, 1 attacking Leslie Headland, and 2 just basically, no, 2 more articles. 1 basically assaulting Kathleen Kennedy, complaining about male fans. All right. Who's behind it? I don't know. I don't know who's allowed to. Hey, Cross. Thank you, Cross. It's really weird. I kind of sit back and go, you know, obviously they feel empowered to do this. Now, that being said, if you remember, Pablo Hidalgo hadn't been talking about the Acolyte at all until I brought it up. Now, if you go on Blue Skies, he's saying all kinds of shitty things, including and or about review bombing, because that's their excuse. I'm pretty sure that Jon Favreau and Bob Iger have the right numbers, and they know it's not review bombing, but this is, look, how else, if you're a pretentious, narcissistic bully, are you gonna get through the day? All right, you can't be honest with yourself. My God, if you actually had to say it out loud, the High Republic failed, the Acolyte failed, we're doomed. It's actually real, and then you have to admit it. That's why they do this. They basically find a way to excuse what's going on, blame other people, and it's like, no, that's not how the Force works. People don't like this. When you have Christian Harloff, etc., basically calling them out for being quote unquote toxic, but then also calling out the black pills like Gary and Geeks and Gamers and Ryan Cannell and all the rest of that trash. It's just, it's just one of those things where you're like, there is a problem. It's okay to say the Acolyte is trash. It's okay to say the sequel trilogy is trash. It's okay to say there's nothing redeeming about Solo, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, except for like the first 20 minutes. It's okay to say that they were unsatisfactory efforts. All right. What's not okay is to be dishonest about quite a bit about what's going on, like because you want to make money, which is what they do. So you're kind of stuck between, the black pills and the Pablos of the world. And you're like, motherfucker, if you weren't here, causing trouble for the fans and being the untalented asshole that you are, these fuckers wouldn't have a place at the table. They would be fanboys, probably working at a garage or something. Okay. Instead, because of the way the fans were treated, when they started calling out Lucasfilm after TFA came out, which is when it started, they, instead of going, we approached this wrong, Larry Kasdan should have known better. J.J. Abrams is too stupid to know anything. Okay. But they left the door open. They left the door open for more of this shit. And a short, morbidly obese fatty named Ryan Johnson walked in and basically shit all over it. Okay. And it, it's like, you're like, do you understand why the fans are pissed? But if you're a narcissist, if you have a message, if it's your goal in life to fuck with your customers, you're not going to want to hear it. Okay, you're not, look, when Mark Hamill said, the fans won't like this, Fuckstick said, we don't care, we're not making it for them. What? So basically, you expect people to come to this trash fire and like it? Okay, said no one ever. I mean, it's like, so you gotta look at it like this, and the same thing with the Trasholite. Now, I don't know, maybe one of you guys in the chat that's actually seen it is like, it's unfinished. Cameron was right. What Hedlund handed off to the guys was an unfinished fan film. Terrible, by the way. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't feel like it's going anywhere, etc. Then we've got garbage inserted in it, like episode 3. Okay, it's at 14% RT audience score. Now, again, we have King of Lucasfilm, he thinks, Pablo, the story director. Why? For the canon. They can't even. I mean, I want you to look at everything they put together. They wanted a more coherent, linear canon. There's absolutely nothing in it that they've written that absolutely makes any sense. The sequel trilogy, they're 3 separate movies. They don't make sense together. Okay, they're not fucking telling the same story. The High Republic, ain't no one reading that shit. Don't care what they say. All right? Well, Cross, I was waiting for that. And, I have hope they will. I think that would be the wise choice. And I would look forward to the absolute freak out on X and Blue Skies. I mean, look, if you're actually a wise person and you know that the train is going to hit the brick wall and it's speeding down the tracks and they can't stop it. Once it does, and the fallout, the crying, the weeping, the gnashing of teeth, it's all these sexist phobes and ists. Ugh. That is fodder for your YouTube for the forever and ever. Not They're the Dead. Repeat, pay me. That is fodder because it says Disney's had enough. Okay, Disney's had enough. Now I was gonna do an upload about the latest Fandom Wire thing, and here's how you do this. I don't normally want to read Fandom Wire because they're not. Hey, Matt, how you doing? Because they usually they're pretty much Kennedy ass kissers, and but the last couple of days has been fire. So something's going on. Something's going on with Christian Harloff and other people saying it's not really good Star Wars. Okay, so obviously, either someone said, change the tone, please, or they've started to hear what we've heard, that changes are coming to Lucasfilm. Maybe they've heard about this, this meeting that's supposed to take place. I don't know. All I know is that, we haven't heard anything from Sparrow since, but I have hope that it will end up having something. There's something going on. As far as Kennedy goes, Frank is in Thailand, getting ready to film Jurassic World 4. Okay, not like we needed another one, but here we are. And he's there. All right, is she there? Be the perfect time to put it out there on deadline. We've come to a situation where Mrs. Kennedy's services at Lucasfilm are no longer required. She no longer is president of Lucasfilm. Do to her what she did to Gina Carano, okay? Now it's not like you want revenge or retribution, but for fuck's sake, it's time, right? It's time for her to go. It is time for the Walt Disney Company to say, hey, all right, now all right, what are they? Let's find out. What are the shares doing today? We'll find it right here. They're down again. They've been down the last 2 days. All right, they were down below 100. On was it this weekend? I think. So my thing is, what could they lose by just announcing what's going on? All right, what can they lose by coming to a settlement with Gina Carano, which would shut the black pills up? That would shut the fucking black pills up. And settlement, I mean, give her job back and give her a little money. She doesn't want much. All right, she doesn't want much. So give her what she's asked for. Let her come back. All right, that would be the best thing to do for the fandom, because they like her. I mean, there was absolutely no reason for her to be, oh, I know. Well, let him scream. I mean, look, those guys make a lot of money acting like they're pissed off when they're not, and getting everybody else pissed off. And I don't like that. I mean, that's why I think whoever told Harloff and company to go after both sides, go after the Pablos and the geeks and gamers types, because they're unreasonable. All right, they're making everybody else unreasonable. All right, if you take away one of their talking points, they lose part of their narrative. And at least one of them is just dangerous enough to understand what would happen if they did that. Okay. But we're sitting here waiting for all this to come back, all this to be announced. And it's like, is Kennedy thinking she can play chicken? Hey Dave, how you doing? Well, she can't. Look, Kathleen Kennedy was batting above her playing weight, or batting above her, fighting above her class. Okay. She might be a good producer, but she was only as good as Spielberg and Lucas and Eastwood and Zemeckis and Scorsese, etc., would allow her to be, okay, because they were the boss. She wasn't. They were. And when she got to be the boss, she fumbled the ball. Okay, I could use tons of American football analogies. Okay, I just because it's like, you're sitting here going, the Acolyte, you were fourth and goal on your own 1 yard line, and you fucking threw an interception, which has got just got carried back for a touchdown for the other team. I mean, that's what she's did. That's what she's done. And allowing the Acolyte, and I don't know, I mean, the speculation of how it got made and everything else is kind of it's interesting because you're like, I wow, why would these people care about this? Why would these people care about this? All right, but if it had not been put up on Lucas on Disney Plus, if the actors didn't act like they acted like they actually gave a fuck and acted like they cared about what they were doing instead of being 5-year-olds, especially Charlie Barnett. All right. This soda can is smarter than he is. Okay. Yeah, I mean that's exactly. And again, people who have seen it who didn't like it said it's not a finished show. First off, the episodes are like what, a half hour? That's all they could get out of it. That's all dumbass filmed. All right. So when you think about who's telling the truth, you'll look at what Sparrow said, and Cameron knew what was going on. Cameron knew exactly what was going on. Okay. And it's very interesting to me going forward how united the fandom is. I mean, this thing has got it's got to go. And watching the shills that work for Lucasfilm get really are pissy right now. If you go on Blue Skies, Pablo thinks it's okay to post on Blue Skies. It's not like Bob Iger's ever going to see it. Okay. All right. That was it's called, there are things called screenshots. Okay. I would think it'd be time right now for a lot of those people to start looking for jobs. I've been saying that from 2018 on. All right. We should not have been having these conversations after Soilo came out. But instead, we got treated to Fat Hog, Claudia Gray, who wrote that stupid fucking book Bloodline. And look, when I was taking creative writing when I was in college, the writing professor probably would have given her a C for that because she can't. It's like, so we were treated to her, writing about a gay celibate pilot, which makes you go, have you ever met any gay guys? And a rock co-pilot or navigator, whatever that thing is, that only moves when you're not looking. I mean, that's her contribution. Okay. The High Republic, which if you go to Bookscan and you start looking at what they've actually sold, Charles Soule sold, I think 100,000 copies, which, I've got friends who've sold, like, thriller writers who sold millions, okay? that's not good. And then the sales went down and down and down and down. And the trash light was supposed to be the connection to it. And 14% Rotten Tomatoes audience score. Come on, don't lie to people. Don't lie to yourselves, okay? It is okay. It is okay to admit that you failed, all right? It's okay to admit that your efforts were not up to par, okay? At the same time, I'm looking at Black Pills going, everybody here understands your issue. We understand it. We agree with you. But when you're intellectually dishonest, which I hate, like, the lack of critical thinking. And if you do say, I liked Ahsoka, or Kenobi didn't break canon because it didn't, they fly into a fucking rage. It's like, did you ever watch A New Hope? Did you understand it even? It's the same like when Boba Fett came out. There were things I didn't like about that. I did not like the biker game. I didn't like how Fennec Shand was saved. I thought that was, right. So now she's a cyborg. I didn't know you could do that with humans. But overall, I thought the story was okay. It didn't deserve the bullshit it got from the usual suspects. Just like, Kenobi didn't deserve the shit. And, but look, if you're somebody like from a big channel, you gotta make money. And if you start saying that you liked this part or that part, you're in danger, you think, of losing your audience. But you're being intellectually dishonest. Saying you didn't like Ahsoka. What was wrong with Ahsoka? The only thing I can see is I didn't like Sabine. She pissed me off right away. Smug bitch. I hate smug women. You're not a guy. And Harrison Dula and her stupid son are throwaway characters. We don't need them in live action. Okay, so maybe, they'll be throwaway characters in the future. I know that they're all, Dave Filoni's babies, but, it's called being able to self-edit. All right, if any of you guys ever watch Project Runway, when Tim Gunn would go up to a designer and they'd have their design on the model dummy, the dress mold, and he would say, I think you need to edit it down. That's my problem. Okay, I would rather have female characters that are quality, like Ahsoka Tano, than a ton of female characters that suck ass. Okay, like every female character in The Acolyte, like Sabine, like, oh yeah. I actually really liked that show. I had fun watching it, all right? It was a fun show to watch. Like the female characters in Andor. Blondie Lesbo was like, just make her a guy. The brunette, did she have anything to say in the show? I'm like, you have no personality, you cannot act, get the fuck off my set. That would have been me. And same to Blondie. What they did to Mon Mothma, she goes from a classic character created by George Lucas to, and it's like, I don't understand why they would do that to the shows that they had. Create one quality character. One would be enough. All right. But these are women who cannot navigate a man's world. They cannot. They can't do it. Kathleen Kennedy has said so. Leslie Headland, ran from social media. The moment it was announced, she had the Acolyte back in 2019. Everybody went, because we knew what we were going to get. This shit, the Acolyte was foretold, all right, by the fact of who is the showrunner. All right, and this is my thing. You've got Fandom Wire, Christian Harloff, etc., going after. Oh, hey there, Mike. Hi, Mike's mom. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. It is time for some brutal truth. You've got dishonesty on both sides. One side doesn't want to hear it failed. One side's making up delusions. And one side wants everything to fail because it's a business to them. And the rest of us are like, I just want to watch Star Wars. If there's something we don't like about something, trust me, we will tell you. You will know, all right? However, on the other hand, painting everything with the broad brushes, it all sucks, is intellectually dishonest, and I can't deal with that. I cannot, all right? Trust me, there are people watching that know. And it's not fair to the people at Lucasfilm that really love what they're doing and that agree with us, okay? Because when you've got people ranting and raving on, take whatever channel, it's like, you're not being fair, all right? And I know life isn't fair, trust me. I learned that the hard way when I was 19, but it is our duty to be fair to our fellow man and to do our due diligence to figure out what the fuck is going on before we pass judgment, okay? Lucasfilm attacked us for not liking Moses Ingram. One of the problems I had with Kenobi, even though I liked it. And the reason why Moses Ingram is black. That's not fair. They're not being fair to the fans. They knew we wouldn't like her. They knew she was a bad actress. Okay. They foisted her on Deborah Chow. So if the show failed, they could come and attack us. They're doing the same thing that they did when they dropped the giant meteorite of shit called The Last Jedi on us. They started doing it when TFA came out, all right? And it's like, stop it. All right? First off, every time you do it, you give these idiots the narrative. Okay? And these people should never be allowed a narrative. Okay? They have a legitimate gripe. I agree with them. But the way they go about it is all wrong. Okay? Because their strategy, they think, is to bankrupt Disney. Never gonna happen. Reality. Okay? But Disney can make, as Inside Out proved, good stuff. All right, Inside Out's now the biggest box office of the summer so far. All right, that should tell you where Disney's starting to go. Okay, all right. What has to happen? All right, if Cameron got that message and confirmed that there is a meeting happening, or maybe it already happened. If that meeting happened, who knows what it's going to be about. But I do have to admit, when you've got Pablo desperately, I gotta check some out here, desperately trying to pretend that he doesn't care. Oh yeah, Cross is right. And then suddenly shows up and starts attacking fans, veterans, and just being a worthless piece of shit that he is. Little red diaper baby that he is. You hit a nerve. All right, good. All right. The reason why there are so many, trolls on my channel is because I'm over the target. All right. Look, the Kennedy faithful at Lucasfilm don't give a shit about the big channels because they've delegated them into a toxic hate group, and those big channels did that to themselves. Okay, they did that to themselves. So I get these people harassing me and bothering me and all the rest of this shit on this channel because I am over the target and I don't give a shit what those other people think. Okay. The people who are behind the acolyte need to be called out on the carpet and basically forced to admit they fucked up. And then they need to go away. The people behind the whiteboard of that stupid High Republic need to be dragged out, set down, forced to admit they made a fucking mistake, and then fired. Look, that's what you do. But you're not gonna get what you want by screaming and ranting and raving. Meanwhile, and this is for Carlos, if you noticed, Inside Out came out, there's no gay shit, there's no racist shit, anti-white everything, anything. It was just a good movie. All right. I think Disney's learned its lesson. And I think now, again, and this is what I'm going to say, maybe Michael chime in, I think it's time for the board to take action. Look, if they come out and say, and tell Kennedy, you really need to go now so we can clean out, so Lucasfilm can be cleaned out. I think that would carry a lot of impact if Iger had the board behind him. Okay. And I think it's probably still up, but you gotta look at this. Because this is let's see, 14. This is every bit as important. It's down still, Disney. See it, 101. What was it, a month ago it was up to 120, or a month and a half ago, or no. April, it's dropped almost over 20% now. And it's very possible it'll go below 100, which Bob Iger does not want. That's the number the board has to worry about. And that's the number that should make them look at Iger and say, can we be involved with removing this disgruntled woman away from our IPs now? Okay. The Disney board, Carlos. I'm a serious person. We're serious here. Okay. And that's where I think this might be headed. Again, if George Lucas, they Zoomed, he was in Marin, and they did a Zoom call with him, and he talked to, all those guys on that meeting, and I think it would be great to know what happened. So if Sparrow's watching, or anybody's watching, please tell us what's going on. Really, it would be a great birthday present to me. Please. Anyway, I don't feel like begging, but it's just something has to happen. Because did Mandalorian start filming? We don't know. Let's look. Brendan Wayne usually Brendan Wayne is who? Whose grandson is he? Comments. I'll let you guys figure it out. No, nothing new. So, it, yeah, John Wayne. Yep, John Wayne. And he's very, John Wayne was a really classy guy. And Brendan has got that in spades. I absolutely adore him. In fact, I actually think he should probably be the Mandalorian's voice too. Now, one angry, bitter lefty was screaming, his voice is too high. It's like, no, it's not. If the Mandalorian season, or Mandalorian and Grogu is filming, people should be talking about it, but so far nothing. Which means I think it might be put on the shelf until they figure out what to do with the Acolyte. Hence the meeting. Anyway, I gotta go. My mom-in-law's coming in 45 minutes, and I wanna place up the kitchen. There's stuff all over the counters. So I gotta rock, and you guys all have a really great afternoon. I will see you around the galaxy. And I still don't know what I'm gonna eat. Anyway, for dinner tonight, but it should be a fun night. Anyway, you guys have a good afternoon. Pablo, take care. Start looking for a new job. See you guys around the galaxy.